Willkommen, Grüß Gott, hello, greetings from the Kutztown, Pennsylvania German Cultural Center in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. Ich bin der David Kline. I'm Dave Kline, and I'm here in the Heirloom Victory Garden. It's at the end of the season now. It's that time of year when the weeds kind of take over, but there's still some things in the garden to enjoy. We've got the zinnias. We've got the marigolds. We've got some beautiful asters. Yeah? We've got peppers. I'm not sure if I want to eat that pepper or not because, you know, it might be hot, it might not. I don't know. So we'll just throw that out here. And of course, you still have beautiful tomatoes growing on the vines. And we love our tomatoes here in Berks County. So I'm just going to pop one of these in my mouth and tell you that I was born in Reading, Pennsylvania, the Reading Hospital. That's Reading's county seat, Berks County's county seat. And so I was born in Berks County. All right? And I'm going to play a little bit of music, one that I wrote to commemorate that. This one's called Born in Berks County. Hey, born in Berks County. I'm born in Berks County. I'm born in Berks County. Pennsylvania is my home. Cheese and ring bologna, roaring big eggs and wash meat. Everybody's coming for the feast we'll have tonight. Hey, born in Berks County, I'm born in Berks County. I'm born in Berks County, Pennsylvania is my home. Born in Berks County, I'm born in Berks County. I'm born in Berks County, Pennsylvania is my home. I'd like to play some more music that I wrote now. This one is all about living here in the great county of Berks in eastern Pennsylvania, along where the Appalachian Trail crosses what we call the Blue Mountain section, or the Blue Rock section of these beautiful mountains of ours around our home. This is one I wrote some years back. It's called My Pennsylvania Home. Let me tell you about the Heartland, that's my Pennsylvania home, where the mountain laurel blossoms amidst the blue rocks all around. On the Appalachian Trail, the springs are cool and clear and sweet. The stars at night will light the path to guide your weary feet. Well, changing up the season never gives you reason to wander off to any other shore. I'll always remember the snowflakes and spring days in the heartland of my Pennsylvania home. In the town where I grew up, the mighty river winds its way past the steel mills and the coal mines that join the ocean's way. So many pleasant nights I sat upon the mountainside and watched the dusk turn to dawn. It's here I must abide. Well, changing of the season never gives you reason to wander off to any other shore. I'll always remember the snowflakes and the spring days in the heartland of my Pennsylvania home. In summer, take a hike. Spring's the time for kayaking and Koltz mountain bikes. In limestone creeks and cool deep lakes, the fishing is supreme. Those trout and bass will test your line. It seems just like a dream. Well, you know the season never gives you reason to wander off to any other shore. I'll always remember the snowflakes and the spring days in the heartland of my Pennsylvania home. That's my Pennsylvania home. The next one I'd like to do for you is one that I wrote in honor of the Kutztown Folk Festival, which is really a big tradition here in Berks County, and it names some of the people by name, like Lester Miller, who is sort of the patron saint of hoedown calling around these parts. And so you can listen to it. It's just the fun that we have at the Kutztown Folk Festival. Many places around the world celebrate their festivals and songs, and people write music about it. So I thought, hey, why not something about our home place here around Kutztown? Come on and dance and sing and circle in a ring, forward and back we'll go, we'll holler do-si-do, we'll sing a happy song, the band will play along to the Kutztown Folk Festival polka. Lester Miller is our caller and he's grand, he keeps our dancers moving hand to hand. The grapevine, boom, the I too, promenade and wave your partner through. Come on and dance and sing and circle in a ring, forward and back we'll go, we'll holler do-si-do, the band will play and sing, we'll circle in a ring to the Kutztown Folk Festival polka. Our hoedown stage is home for these 9 days, with folks like you that brighten up our days. Without our music we'd be sad and blue, that's why we made this special song for you. Come on and dance and sing and circle in a ring, we'll holler do-si-do, forward and back we'll go, the band will play and sing, you'll circle in a ring to the Kutztown Folk Festival polka. Our traditions and our culture we will share with friends that come from everywhere. As luscious, boyish times will roll, happy stories and the memories will be told. Come on and dance and sing and circle in a ring, forward and back we'll go, we'll holler do-si-do, the band will play and sing, you'll circle in a ring to the Kutztown Folk Festival polka, to the Kutztown Folk Festival polka. Come on and dance and sing and circle in a ring, forward and back we'll go, we'll holler do-si-do, the band will play and sing and circle in a ring to the Kutztown Folk Festival polka, to the Kutztown Folk Festival polka. Well, for this segment, we're going to do some fun songs that you might hear other places if you travel to different festivals. Since we can't do it in person, we might as well do it virtually. Of course, I'm starting out very safely. My friend and artist Rachel Yoder designed these beautiful COVID-friendly face masks. You can notice her beautiful and iconic Pennsylvania Dutch, Pennsylvania German Barn Star art. But now I got to take it off because my glasses will steam up. So let's do one now that's popular here in the Kutztown, Pennsylvania region before we go overseas. And this one is from a comedian who was really the king of Pennsylvania Dutch comedy a long time ago. His name was Professor Schnitzel. And he was popular at the fairs and the festivals when people would come by the tens of thousands over weekends, and in some cases hundreds of thousands if the festival lasted for 9 days, like the Kutztown Folk Festival did in its heyday. At the height of it, you know, it was amazing how many people came to hear people like Professor Schnitzel do their shtick. Now, for anybody that doesn't know the Pennsylvania Dutch dialect, and frankly I don't speak High German or the dialect very well, I have enough trouble with English. We're going to teach you now a real quick lesson on the Pennsylvania Dutch language. Okay? So, repeat after me, please. This is what I heard my grandfather say, who was Pennsylvania German, all the time when something didn't go right. Say the word I. Now say it again. I. Now say it 3 times fast. After me. I. That's what you need to know. You also need to know what the word schmutz means, or schmutzing. Some people say they schmutz up the axle of the wheel in the car or the truck, and they say it's oil, but that's not what it means in this song. It means kissing, schmutzing, kissing. Now imagine I'm a 12-year-old boy, and I have never, ever been schmutzed before. Oh, wow, I have to take off my glasses. I'm getting steamy here. And Katie Koltz is the town's best schmutzer. And I found out about her, and this is the story. Why, when I was just a boy at 12, not dry behind my ears yet, I met a gal named Katie Koltz, but I was shy and some wildin'. Then one day she stole a kiss. I didn't know what I was missing, but now I know what schmutzing is. Schmutzing's only kissing. You say, I. Sing it with me. How she could schmutz. I. That Katie Koltz, I, that Katie Koltz. There never was a schmutzing gal like my Katie Koltz. Now the men say, we want Katie, we want Katie, we want Katie, we want Katie. Now, she was my hun, my sugar bun. She was my one desire. I schmutzed her, she schmutzed me. We set the house on fire. She says, I. How she could schmutz. I. That Katie Koltz. I. How she could schmutz. There never was a schmutzing gal like my Katie Koltz. Now men, we're gonna march. Here we go. We want Katie. We want Katie. We want Katie. We want Katie. Now her hair was gold. Her lips was red. She had a winning way. And the way she schmutzed me, oh, I'll recall until my very last day. And so let's sing together. I. How she could schmutz. I. That Katie Koltz. I. How she could schmutz. There never was a schmutzing gal like my Katie Koltz. Oh, there never was a schmutzing gal like my Katie Koltz. Why, there never was a schmutzing gal like my Katie Koltz. Aye. Thank you, fellow schmutzers. For the next part of the show, you don't have to spend any money on airfare. No? You can come along with me through the theater of the mind, the power of the imagination. We're going to go to Switzerland, where a Japanese yodeler who lived in the Schweiz wrote this song about a chicken. It's called the Baby Händel. Now this song went from Switzerland to Munich. And in München, at the Oktoberfest, lots of people like to sing because they like to cluck along like a chicken. So your part in this song is... So if you really want to get into it, you move your head to the side, you know, like a chicken does. Fun festival songs. Sometimes it's called, I'm a skier, it's called après-ski, or just around the regular bars and beer and wine stupas, it's the Schlager music, whatever you want to call it. This one is a hit. When I went up to the mountain mountain pasture I wanted to find my BB Handle. My BB Handle, hey, BB, hey, my BB Handle, hey. Here we go, let's yodel. Yodel-o, yodel-ay, yodel-o, yodel-o, hey, yodel-ay, yodel-o, 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 yodel-ay, yodel-o, booty. Yodel and cluck along every time it comes up. Here's the clucking part. When I came into the forest, they wanted to take my BB Handle. My BB Handle, hey BB, oh, my BB Handle, here we go. Yodel-o, yodel-ay, yodel-o, yodel-o, hey, yodel-o, 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 yodel-ay, yodel-o, 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 booty. My chicken jumped right on the top stove, and you know that he burnt his dewy claws. Oh, my BB Handle, hey BB, hey, my BB Handle, here we go. Yodel-o, yodel-ay, yodel-o, yodel-o, hey, yodel-ay, yodel-o, 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 booty. Everybody cluck along. I'm Spy Jive there. That's the BB Handle song. Well, as you can see, we're at the back porch of the old stone farmhouse at the Pennsylvania German Cultural Heritage Center in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. My name's Dave Kline. I'm glad you're watching this segment of the show. I want to thank Patrick Dunmoyer for inviting me to be a part of this festivity, and thank all the other folks. Hands across the water to Michael Werner and everybody in places like Reutlingen or along the Rhine River, all the way to Munich or anywhere in Germany. I love the Alps, I love the Black Forest, I love all that culture, and we kind of have counterparts to that here. We have a beautiful forest called the Nolde Forest here in Berks County, which was really constructed, bioengineered a long time ago, decades ago during the Industrial Revolution. The man's name was Nolde, and he hired a gentleman from the Black Forest to come and construct a beautiful forest of pine trees, basically, the same thing you'd see in the Black Forest. And of course we have beautiful rolling hills here like the Unter Alps that you can see from the Rhine River. We don't have the big mountains like the Alps, like the Zugspitze in Germany, but you know, when I was a younger man, I climbed that mountain, and also one called the Tafel in Oberammergau. And ever since I've been skiing in those mountains, it's easier to use the lifts than to climb up the mountains. But when you spend the time in the mountains, the beautiful mountains of Germany, Switzerland, Austria, France, northern Italy, even some parts of Spain, and the country of Andorra, you know, you start to really enjoy the mountain culture. And once you start doing that, you can't help but get caught up in the after ski parties that I love so much, where they just sing happy songs. And this is an old school, old time kind of après-ski song. Of course, it could also just be a stupa song, a bar song, a pub song. You just get people acting it out and having a good time. And so it's basically called Hopsasa. There are many different versions of Hopsasa, as there are with most traditional folk songs and that kind of music. I'm just going to do my own. But the idea is, when the singer goes Hopsasa, you're supposed to rise up a little bit. You know? They stand up. Everybody stands up, sort of like an Ein Prosit, right? So here we go. You can sway along when our skiing day is through. Ho-yo-dee, ho-yo-doo. You'll sing and yodel the whole night through. Ho-yo-dee. Go 1, 2, hop, sa sa, ho yo, ho yo, do, do 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 sa, ho-yo, dee-dee-dee. We'll sing and yodel the whole night through, ho-yo, dee, ho-yo, doo. We'll make some friends, just me and you, ho-yo, dee-dee-dee. And we go 1, 2, ah, sa sa, ho-yo, dee, ho-yo, doo, 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 sa sa, ho-yo, dee-dee-dee. Ho-la-lo-dee, oh-dee, oh, ho-la-lo-dee, oh-la-la-la-lo, ho-la-lo-dee, yo-la-la-lo-dee, ho-la-lo-dee, oh-dee, ho-la-lo-dee, oh-la-la-la-lo, ho-la-la-la, doo-doo-doo. We'll have some beer and schnapps and wine, ho-lo-dee, ho-yo-doo, and that is going to make us fine, ho-yo-dee-dee-dee. And we go 1, 2, ah, sa sa, ho-yo-doo, ho-yo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo, ah, sa sa, ho-yo-doo-doo-doo. Yep-hoy! Next up, I'd like to do a very, very popular sing-along song for you. It's a popular sing-along song here in the United States, and no, it's not Sweet Caroline, because during COVID times, we're not allowed to touch hands and hold closer and touching me, touching you. No, we can't do Sweet Caroline, oh, but we can do John Denver's great hit, because whether you're in the United States or whether you are in the Alps, at the après-ski scene, or in the tents or beer halls of Germany, or along the Rhine in the big wine tents during the wine festivals, you'll probably hear this song, so I want you to sing along to it. It's Take Me Home, Country Roads. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, flowing like a breeze. Country road, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home, country road. All my memories gather round her, miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste moonshine, and the teardrops in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home, country road. I hear her voice in the morning hour, she calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away, and driving down the road I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home, country roads. Sing it with me, here we go. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home, country roads, take me home, country roads, take me home, down country roads. Yeah. Well, my friends, I'd like to go now from the Alps of Europe to the mountains of home around Kutztown and Berks County, Pennsylvania, from where I live. The Blue Rock section of the Appalachian Mountains, where we have Hawk Mountain, a world-class raptor and migratory bird study center. We have the Pinnacle. We have another mountain called Owl's Head. We have Albany Township, otherwise known as the Allamengle. And in the Allamengle live several wonderful people I know from Kempton, like Lucy Muth, who's a fine cook and a great musician and a keeper of the history at the Albany Township Historic Center, and also my friend and artist John Bond. Now, John Bond and I completed a multimedia project just a few months ago, and it's starting to make its way out into the world. It's available on Apple iTunes, and John, of course, at his John Bond art studio in Kempton, has all of the original art. The idea was John would paint a painting, I would create a song to go with the painting. Or, conversely, I would create a song or a tune, and then John would paint something to match that tune. So we put together this show. It's quite extensive. We've enjoyed touring it. But I'd like to take you to one of the paintings now. It's a painting of some apples on a tree branch that John did, and he told me this great story about the history of, let's call it schnapps, for those that are in Germany, our friends across the ocean. Here, we call it moonshine, or hooch, or when it's made out of apples, we call it applejack, or AP Jack. Now, you know, the story is true that Hank Williams Sr., big star in country music early days, used to tour up here because there were a lot of family-run music parks in Berks County back in the day, decades ago. And it was said that Hank Williams Sr. loved to come up here to Berks County to get the applejack, because he said nobody makes finer applejack in the world than those people up there in Berks County. Those folks know how to do it. So I researched that a little bit further, talking with my friend and artist John Bond, and he took me to the farm of a man who lived a long time ago and is no longer with us. And that man's name was Mr. Baumgartner. Now think about that name, literally, translated from German to English, Baumgartner. So the tree gardener, the tree farmer. Anyway, he grew apples. He had apple trees. So during the early Lenape Native American uprisings, where there were skirmishes and some of the settlers were having a real hard time with the Native Americans, Mr. Baumgartner was never bothered, because even the Indian chiefs and the braves would come to Mr. Baumgartner's to get the apple hooch, to get the apple cider, the apple schnapps, to get a little buzz on. And the story says they used to roll down the hill in front of Baumgartner's. And also another side note about Baumgartner's place is that when they were concerned about the Liberty Bell, that symbol of freedom in early and young America, they actually moved it from Philadelphia to hide it. And they hid it on Baumgartner's farm. And that's the way the story goes as far as I remember it. If somebody else remembers it different, well, okay, that's the way history goes. But I'd like to do one of the songs I wrote for the project called The Place I Call Home, with the artist John Bond from Kempton in the Allamengle, and what we call the Eck in Eckville. And this one's called the AP Trail, or the Applejack Trail, and it's the story in song of a lot of the things I just told you about. Up on Spincey Mountain, there's an apple cider fountain. You can bet the farm the mother's always good. Fermented by the hours, it ain't a drink for cowards. Take an old clay jug and get a quart or two. Put a chicken in the skillet, but she could hardly fill it, so we put a quart of AP in there too. That chicken was delicious, so wholesome and nutritious, and the gravy, it was pretty tasty too. From Hartsville to the Eck and back to the Rainbow, find a applejack. Many a man and woman can tell. A pint will do you right, and a jug will last all night if you get your apple hooch from the AP Trail. Hotel was a place the hunters knew quite well. They'd tell their women they's off to shoot a deer. But when AP season was in swing, they'd stash their guns to get a swig, and that's just how the Liars Club was born. From Hartsville to the Eck and back, there ain't no finer applejack. Many a man and woman can tell. A pint will do you right, and a jug will last all night when you get your applejack from the AP Trail. Now, throughout his worldly travels, Hank Sr. sipped the bubbles. It was with no uncertainty at all. His visits to Berks County were to visit the mountain fountains, where he said our Applejack was best of all. From Hartsville to the Eckenbacker, it will find our Applejack. Many a man and woman can you tell. On jungle do you right, and a pine will last all night when you get your Applejack from the AP Trail. And his orchards had no fear of Indian troubles. They knew what he was baking was quite a treat. So the braves and chiefs would visit just to get a liquid thrill, and that fire water rolled them down the hill. Now just a lad out on the farm when troopers rode their rounds by horse, young Wilson Fox poured AP in their trough. As the troopers visited Ma and Pa, their horses drank and then fell over. Pa served the best Applejack in town. By the time Wilson was 80, his knees were racked and spent. It took 2 canes to hold him straight and true. But when he had a jug of juice, he danced around as he got loose. No finer medicine was ever served. From Hartsville to the Eckenback, there ain't no finer Applejack. Many a man and woman can tell. A pine will do you right, and a jug will last all night when you get your Applejack from the AP Trail. Blanket the forest. It's the foxes making coffee. At least that's what the old-timers say. But it's not coffee at all. It's that AP Jack of oil, and that potent scent brings us back for more. From Hartsville to the Eckenback, there ain't no finer Applejack. Many a man and woman can tell. A pine will do you right, and a jug will last all night when you get your Applejack from the AP Trail. Jack from the AP Trail. Switching back to the old guitar right now, I'd like to do another one that honors Eckville. This was written by the late Chucker Barr. Chucker was a great rock and roll singer in the early days, in the 50s and such, and then he progressed into singing sea chanties and Irish music with a group called the Chanakeans. Great guy, great wonderful guy, left a great legacy of music in happy times, including this song that he reworked, kind of a melody to honor Eckville, Pennsylvania. The Eck, the corner, is what it means, up there in Albany Township in the Alamangle. And I'm going to use the words here because I don't have it memorized, but I think you'll get the idea. It's all about pretzels and beer and an Eckville Saturday night and all the things that go on Hawk Mountain Road and all that crazy fun stuff. Long live your memory, Chucker Barr. Well, they get out their pretzels and they get out their beer. They holler to their neighbor, "Come amongst over here!" All night Schmetzer till the morning light in an Eckville Saturday night. This is the story that Chucker wrote. He wrote about a guy named Norm. Now, when Chucker wrote this, Norm was in his 70s, wasn't married, but he had a girlfriend. So this is his part of the song. There's old Norm, off to see his girl. She's ugly as a groundhog, nutty as a squirrel. She'll holler good together till the cows come home on an Eckville Saturday night. Well, they get out the pretzels and they get out the beer and they holler to the neighbor, "Come on, once over here!" All night Schmetzer till the morning light on an Eckville Saturday night. Now the next part is about a guy by the name of Jimmy Birdwatcher up there at Hawk Mountain, the world famous hawk sanctuary. On the Hawk Mountain Road, you can see all kinds of people up there. Jimmy Birdwatcher was a famous and iconic guy up there when Chuck wrote this song. So this is Jimmy Birdwatcher's part of the song. There's old Jimmy, looking in the sky, a little birdie gets him right in the eye. He's sure glad that the cows can't fly on an Eckville Saturday night. Well, get out the pretzels and get out the beer and they holler to the neighbor, come on once over here. All night sweats until the morning light and it's Saturday night. Now they got a fella up there on the mountain, according to Chucker Bar, that wasn't very ambitious. He bought a scythe and he wanted to make hay and he had a daughter. But it rained for weeks and weeks and he got frustrated. So finally he just told her to get on with it. This is his part of the song. So one day he called to his daughter. He gave her hip boots and the scythe he bought her. You're gonna make hay come heck of high water on a Saturday night. Well, get out the pretzels and get out the beer and holler to the neighbor, come on once over here. All night sweats until the morning light on a Saturday night. Now the last part of the song is about a guy named Roadkill Tommy that Chucker Bar knew. Now up there in Hawk Mountain, I like to think of that as the hillbilly part of the county. I've seen things up there that no man should see, and once you see them, you can't unsee them. So Roadkill Tommy, what he'd do, according to Chucker, he'd wait for a fresh roadkill, somebody with a truck or a car, run over a critter up there, and he'd pick it up and he'd eat it. Yuck! This is his part of the song. There's Roadkill Tommy picking up his lunch. He'll run around the back and stick it in the trunk. He'll eat the eyeballs out of that skunk on a nickel Saturday night. Well, get out the pretzels and get out the beer and holler to the neighbor, come on once over here. All night sweats until the morning light in a nickel Saturday night. Sing it! Well, get out the pretzels and get out the beer and holler to the neighbor, come on once over here. All night sweats until the morning light in a nickel Saturday night. Yoo-hoo! Well, as you can see, I'm switching up locations here on the Pennsylvania German Cultural Heritage Center in Kutztown. It gives you some beautiful perspective of these really wonderful old stone buildings. Like the work area, that building, sort of an outbuilding, and then behind us the main house, the main home. And what a beautiful home it is. So it's an honor for me to be here participating in this transatlantic virtual Heemet Fescht. And I'd like to thank Chris LaRose and Douglas Maidenford and Rachel Yoder and Pat Dunmoyer and of course Michael Werner and all the people responsible for pulling this together. It's an honor to be here with you and participating in this. Hello to all of our friends over the Atlantic and hello to all of our friends over here in the new colony of America. I'm going to go back to the songbook that my friend John Bond and I created. He created the art, I created the music and the tunes. He showed me a painting of an old red box wagon. So this would be the kind of wagon that you just put things in to take them from place to place. A utilitarian wagon. Just to picture an old red wooden wagon, large, a horse would pull it or a team of horses, big wagon wheels and everything. And he said, you know, when I painted this, and I've painted it several times, I like to think of this as a place I can put my cares and worries. And I said, John, wow, that's really unique. And so that inspired me then to write this song. And it's called Red Box, same name as the painting. It's all about the wagon and putting your cares and worries in that wagon and just forgetting about it for a while. After all, happiness is a choice, isn't it? Red box, put it all away, put it in the back till another day. Red box, put it all away till the break of day. Red box, lock it in a case, haul it on out to another place. Send it down the road and let it go tonight. Red box, put it all away, put it in the back till another day. Red box, put it all away till the break of day. Grab a friend or neighbor by the hand, load him in the wagon and find the band. Hoot and holler until the morning light. Red box, put it all away, put it in the back till another day. Red box, put it all away till the break of day. Tonight's the night, it's time to swing. Jump in the middle and shake that thing. Left and right, in the middle, don't be uptight. Red box, put it all away, put it in the back till another day. Red box, put it all away till the break of day. When the sun comes up on a brand new day, that red box stuff will be stashed away. Keep on dancing for the rest of your life. Red box, red box, put it all away, put it in the back till another day. Red box, put it all away till the break of day. Put it all away till the break of day. Put it all away till the break of day. All right, rolling right along. I've switched back to the banjo, and if you recall early in the program I mentioned some of the mountain names around Berks County. Up in Albany Township is where really a lot of the beautiful mountains are, like the Pinnacle and Hawk Mountain and the Spitze and Owl's Head, which is right across sort of from the Pinnacle. And I wrote this song for John Bond's project called The Place I Call Home, and he painted some black vultures for me. I think they're beautiful and graceful. If you watch them in the wind, they have the beautiful gray-black bodies and then the white wingtips that are unmistakable and how they soar and float. Well, I told you also that that area of our county is what I consider to be sort of hillbilly country, sort of backwoods, Clem Cadiddlehopper kind of stuff. So I wrote this little bit of a ode, a tribute to the hillbillies there about going out in the Owl's Head. One time we went out there, man, the guys were like, you can find the cave out there in Owl's Head, it's just below the cliffs. And I think they must tell a lot of city people this. And those city people never come home again, because they go out there looking for those cliffs, and those are steep cliffs, looking for caves and stuff. And I said, I'm not climbing down there. Oh, well, then you're not going to see the cave. Well, then I'm not going to see the cave. So the buzzards can fly, but I knew I couldn't. So that's kind of like what this story's all about.
How do you fly so high? Up above the mountain ridges, soaring in the sky. Up beyond the western ridge, where some men fear to tread, rattling through the brush and the bramble to the old owl's head. Out on the edge of a stony cliff, don't go wondering why. You fall, you won't be coming back, you dang fool, you can't fly. Sail across the mountain, sail and glide on by. Say hello to the owl-heads, buzzards, let them fly on by. Back to civilization, down the fingers free. Work and toil your life away, back buzzards flying free. Black buzzard, how do you fly so high? Up above the mountain ridges, soaring in the sky. Up beyond the western ridge, where some men fear to tread, rattling through the brush and the brambles to the old owl's head. Up beyond the western ridge, where some men fear to tread, rattling through the brush and the bramble to the old owl's head.
And now I'd like to get just a little serious right now, because the whole world has been facing this dreaded COVID-19 disease. It's what's making us do virtual festivals, but thank goodness for the technology that we can do it. But what I did is I took this theme and I took an old-time mountain modal sound. This would have been something that might have come to us from Ireland or Scotland or the British Isles and settled in to the culture of the Appalachian Mountains as it made its way from south to north and north to south, and in the middle here in Pennsylvania, the Keystone State. And I'm going to tell you the story about what I think the COVID-19 is, at least with poetic license. So basically, I'll tell you the story before I sing it. It's a lot to keep track of. But basically the devil is sitting around and he's thinking, I haven't had a lot of kicks lately. There haven't been any real major wars or pandemics or problems. So what can I do? What can I do? I am going to whoop up a virus. I'm going to make a virus and it's going to affect all of mankind to the fact that they will be coming to me and I'll be getting souls left and right. I won't need to worry about where my next batch of souls are coming from. And not only that, I'll have them fighting with each other. There'll be protests and unrest and sickness and just gonna be, for the devil, a really good time. So he does that. And in this song, there are people who turn to the ancient archangel Azrael, the angel of death. The ancient Egyptians had Anubis and other cultures had this angel of death character. In modern times, we see it as the Grim Reaper with the dark black hood and cloak and the sickle and the scythe and so forth to harvest people. But in ancient times it was more of like an archangel who would help you to make a transition from this life to the next, and they call on the archangel Azrael to help them defeat this devil's virus. So that having been said, here's one called Whoop the Devil's Virus. The devil looked down on the earth into the good Lord's people. Devil said right to himself, I must do some evil. He whooped and spit and spat upon God's sons and all his daughters, unleashed a plague upon the land, virus made to order. Devil gonna take you, he hissed and shout, gonna fill your lungs with water. Come on, yawn and bow to me, I'll save you from the slaughter. Many a man and woman too bent down upon their knees. Some pray to God and some succumb to wormwood and his needs. Azrael, Azrael, archangel so divine, cast that demon virus out and vengeance shall be thine. Hero, St. Peter, wait for me on the road. Let my flesh to Satan goes, please take my spirit home. Wept and mourned as people fell around there. Devil smiled and licked his lips, for souls he was a gathering. Those unclean and unbaptized would soon be in his kingdom. Them that has no true belief can never have their freedom. Well, let's hope that we whoop the devil's virus soon. Meanwhile, like many of you, I've been doing virtual events, virtual concerts, virtual lectures, talks, Zoom meetings to participate and talk to people, just trying to not lose that sense of touch and reality of human interaction. And so I had a friend of mine who is a pastor, his name is Pastor Jim Farnsworth, and he asked me to write some original music for a series of, I think we did 8 weeks or more, of Wednesday night virtual church services, non-denominational for anybody who wanted to come in. And I wrote a song of hope, and I played it on my weekly radio show. People seem to like it, so I'm going to play it for you now. I sent out, I can't even tell you how many copies via email for people that just wanted to have it in their collection to have a little bit of uplifting. So let's do this right now. This one's called This Too Shall Pass. When you're scared and confused and you don't know what to do, just give your cares and worries to the one who cares. Live your life beyond the now. Here's a simple answer how. Let the angels, Christ, and God be on your side. This too shall pass, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. Let not your earthly tribulations bring you down. For in this world we face much sorrow, but there'll be a bright tomorrow. Christ has overcome the world that you be saved. As you're thinking day to day, there are things you cannot see. Look beyond the pale to get a better view. When you see God's realm beyond, where you never stand alone, take heart, feel joy where problems are at hand. This too shall pass, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. Let not your earthly tribulations bring you down. For in this world we face much sorrow, but there'll be a bright tomorrow. Christ has overcome the world, so we are saved. While you navigate the darkness, share us on the peace and the light. Lend a helping hand to those in need. Kind words and gentle hearts banish evil and its arts. No need for anguish when you trust a higher power. This too shall pass, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. Let not your earthly tribulations bring you down. For in the world we face much sorrow, but there'll be a bright tomorrow. Christ has overcome the world that you be saved. This too shall pass, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. Let not your earthly tribulations bring you down. For in the world we face much sorrow, but there'll be a bright tomorrow. Christ has overcome the world that you be saved. Christ has overcome the world that you be saved. This too shall pass, brothers and sisters. Now we've moved to yet another wonderful location on the Pennsylvania German Cultural Heritage Farm in Kutztown. You can see here this is the Eichler Frankenfield home. This is the farmhouse that we've been filming around with the outbuildings and such. There's a one-room schoolhouse that's here on the grounds, and it's really just a wonderful, wonderful thing. You should come and visit it for yourself if you haven't already, and whenever you can. Over the last couple years, I've been working with a big polka star, Alex Meixner, in the Alex Meixner Band. He's great and fun to be with, and he asked me to write a couple songs for his band to record, and we did write this one, and we recorded it. So this one's called Our Happy Polka, because during these COVID times, we're trying to share as much happiness as we can. We all need a lot of happiness. In life we sometimes get a card of lemons, oh so sour. Things just seem so crazy, can't find a cause to smile. But turn those lemons into lemonade and take a drink. You're sure to leave your troubles all behind. Prost, 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 Gemütlichkeit is here. Prost, 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 have another beer. Add a little smile and grab a partner, hold him near, and leave your cares and worries far behind. Spin around the dance floor and celebrate your life. Dancing is so good with your husband, friend, or wife. Forget about those things in life that cause you to be blue, and let our music be a friend to you. Prost, 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 Gemütlichkeit is here. Prost, 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 chug another beer. Add a little smile and grab a partner, hold him near, and leave your cares and worries far behind. If you find you are
are afraid of things in this old world, remember to be brave, don't let your thoughts all unfurl. Keep your chin up, remember that you're not alone, our happy polka's here to bring you joy. Prost, 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 Kite is here. Prost, 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 chug another beer. Add a little smile and grab a partner, hold him near, and leave your cares and worries far behind. Yodelay, 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 doo-doo-doo-doo. Yodelay, 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 doo-doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Sing it! Prost, 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 Kite is here. Prost, 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 chug another beer. Add a little smile and grab a partner, hold it near, and leave your cares and worries far behind.
I'd like to close out my portion of this virtual Heemet Fest by saying thank you to all of the hard workers, the volunteers, the professional staff on both sides of the Atlantic. I do appreciate you, and I'm honored to be here amongst all these fine folks. Thank you, Patrick Dunmoyer, for asking me to participate in this again. Much, much gratitude. So, what I wanted to say is, we have two wonderful German-American clubs here in Berks County, carrying on the traditions in addition to great facilities like the farm here. They are the Evergreen Club in Fleetwood and the Reading Liederkranz, high atop Reading Scenic Mount Penn. They are singing and sports societies. That's what they were founded on. So there are lots of people in our area, anyway, working to keep those traditions and values alive. And I think that most right-minded people, let's say, share and hold these values dear, and that it unites us all around the world. Here are the things I think we have in common. I think we have in common a love of family, a love of music and the arts, a love of traditional culture, a love of food, a love of beverages, and a love of sharing this wisdom and these knowledge items to other people, if not the children, the kinder, to friends or family we know through festivals like this, be they in person or live. So good job, everybody. And what I've done now is I've written a special song just for this virtual Heemet Fescht. I want to tell you that I'm dedicating it to Patrick Dunmoyer and everybody here at the Pennsylvania German Cultural Heritage Center in Kutztown, and also everybody in Reutlingen and all little cities right on up to the Rhine into the Alps that I love so much. This is for you. It's a lullaby, so you're going to have to turn it up a little bit because I recorded it at a lower volume. Just think of it as something soothing and calm, and I've used an auto harp and a dulcimer and a guitar for it, and of course some singing, and I'll show you some scenes around the farm here as well for my parting gift and time with you. It's called Heemet, Mein Heemet, and I want to explain one more thing, a little disclaimer here. When I travel to the Alps, I hear people often in the mountains speaking High German, so they would say Heemet, and then I say Heemet, and they look at me funny, like, what are you talking about? It's, whereas people along the Rhine understand the dialect, and so I get all verhuddled. I have a hard enough time saying English, let alone the dialect and the High German, so I'm no expert in that, all right? I just speak and play from the heart. And this song, you might hear me pronounce it a little funny, like I might say Heemet instead of Heemet, or instead of Heemet. The idea is there's a verse in there that talks about, it's just about home sweet home, and that I love this home so much that we share, whether it's this side of the Atlantic or that, and there's no place like home is what it's saying in the German chorus part. That's basically what it's saying, and so I hope you enjoy it. It's dedicated to you. Thanks again for watching my portion of this festival, and I hope I'll see you somewhere live and in person on one side of the Atlantic or the other very soon. This is Dave Kline. Wiedersehen, so long, thank you.
Of my home are green and gold. The cows abide, and in the fall we harvest up the corn. The barn is waiting for the crop, sown with love and care, and in the garden plants will soon become our table fare. Heemet, mein Heemet, es gibt keinen besseren Ort. Our humble farmhouse farmhouse by the woods, our home of love and grace. Our barn stars guard as overhead the clouds roll gently by. The warming sun makes silent patterns in the sky. As shadows lengthen, cold and frost into the pastures come, it won't be long until the soil to winter's sleep succumb. Heemet, mein Heemet, es gibt keinen besseren Ort. Our humble farmhouse by the woods, our home of love and grace. The winter brings a gentle sleep to all we tend and care. Snowflakes softly settle as we sing around a fire. Oh, Ma and Oh, Pa sing the songs the kinder join in true. Together we're a family, traditions are like glue. Heemet, mein Heemet, es gibt keinen besseren Ort. Our humble farmhouse by the woods,